Okay, so previously for Formidable Foe, I went against Jogo on normal and showed you guys how to complete all 3 missions. Well, today we're going to be taking on the Kyoto school and we're going to be doing normal, and I'm going to attempt extreme for the first time. I think I have a team that I can beat extreme with and get all 3 missions done in one go. That is the goal, to make it as easy as possible so you don't have to repeat this over and over again, because I know it's already going to be a struggle for some people just to beat it once. Now, I have cleared hard already with all 3 missions complete. I'll show you guys the team I used to do that, and then it is a different team for Extreme 1 because there's different team prerequisites for this, which is interesting. So for this one, you need to run Saki Rindo and Kaido Yuki on the team. Now you can run one of them in the sub slot, so that makes it a little bit easier. You also need to have 0 characters withdrawn, and you need to clear the quest within 8 turns. Well, I need to clear it within 7 because I am running Gojo. I'm running Gojo because that is what most people have, right? It just makes the most sense to run that. Okay, so this is the team I'm going to use. I am using the rare Kaido because I think he is better than the SR1 in my personal opinion because of the things that he can do. I am running the recollections that you see here. I want to explain these recollections because they actually are very important to this battle. The sub character literally does not matter, so don't worry about this character or the recollection though. This particular recollection gives him a res if he happens to die. It is actually very helpful. It gives also damage reduction or 10% defense to all of our characters, which is going to help them out. This recollection gives us an extra 10% attack. That's going to help out. That's for all allies. That's going to help out our allies to do more damage. This recollection is Pride. Hopefully you guys know what this one does, but it's a massive boost in damage to cursed users. And then this recollection right here is the one that most people might not know, so I think this one is kind of important to know about. But what it's going to do is it's triggered upon using any command skill, applies draw attack to self for 2 turns. This one is actually super important because Gojo will avoid like status elements and stuff that would stun. So there is characters in this particular stage that can stun your other characters. So if you don't have this draw aggro or a draw aggro recollection, because there's multiple ones that do a similar thing, then your other characters might get stunned and it messes up your whole strategy. So I think it's just easier to particularly run this on Gojo and then put the damage on Nobara instead. Nobara is going to be the one character that I think people might find difficulty with getting, because most free-to-play people will have Gojo, they'll have Kaido, and they'll have Yaga because they're SRs and rares, and then most people pick Gojo, right? But if you're free to play and you happen to have Nobara, then this will be a little bit easier. If you don't have Nobara, I do recommend like a yellow attacker, because that's what you're going to want to put this particular recollection on. They are going to have to be fairly high leveled, and then you should be able to do some decent damage. As it just so happens, the new Megami that is coming out, or maybe out by the time this video is out, is also going to be a yellow attacker, so he'll be really good for this as well. With that said, let's hop in. So as we do this, you're going to want to pay attention to their ultimate gauges. So notice she only has 3 dots, 4 dots, 5 dots. So she will get her ultimate first, ultimate second, ultimate third. The person we want to focus down is going to be her. So we're going to go ahead and use this recollection here, which is going to give that damage reduction, damage taken decrease to all allies. And we are going to buff our allies. I'm not going to pop this just yet. We're going to do this with Kaido. This is why I think he's so good. Applies cursed energy recovery, recovery 14 cursed energy every turn to all allies other than self for 2 turns. That's going to help us maximize our damage. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to actually buff turn 1 with Nobara. We want to make sure we activate this to draw aggro with Gojo, and buff turn 1 with Gojo as well. So just a bunch of buffing turn 1, essentially. I've had people say I buff too much. I don't feel like I do, because I buff just the right amount. Realistically, because buffs stack. I've had people in comments also say buffs don't stack, so I don't know. But if you guys ever want to see that a buff stacks, you just go in, hold on the character, and you can see that the buffs do stack. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and we're going to buff again. And we're going to go here, and we're going to skill 1. We don't need to worry about defense because they're targeting Gojo, right? So we'll skill 1 here. And then I don't remember if I want to buff here or if I want to skill 1. I think skill 1ing here is actually okay. So I think I'm going to skill 1. Yeah, we want to skill 1 because we want to break her. If we break her, it gives our ultimate gauge. So yeah, we want to skill 1 here, and then we want to skill 1 here. Okay. And make sure Gojo is targeting the right person, please. There we go. Your Gojo does have to be a fairly high level, so keep that in mind. It'll help you out a lot if he is. So those shots right there would stun, so just keep that in mind. She is in breaking range, so we should be able to break her. We'll go ahead and buff, and we will skill 1 here, and we will do this for sure. That should break her, and then we'll skill 1. So she should get broken here. That is a break. Oh, and Kugasaki's so close to having her ultimate from those hits. But that is one dead. Okay, so that was easy enough. This one's going to get the ultimate next, so that's the one we want to worry about. We're going to go ahead and do the damage buff now. And we will skill 1 on him, put the nails on him. And then we are going to... Actually, let's put the nails here, just in case. Then we do this. Okay, that looks solid. We should do a decent amount of damage here. There we go. And Kugasaki should be able to finish it next turn. Nobara's gonna go crazy. Alright, we're fine. They attack Gojo. Easy enough. Okay, so we go buff. This is going to be a big buff for our allies as well. Then we want to make sure we activate this. We split the attack between the two of them when we go like this. Sorry. There we go. The attack is split, and they're weak to her, so she'll probably just honestly kill here. And we kill, and then we skill 1 just in case for some reason Nobara doesn't kill, but she should. So big buff to damage for everybody. And then another buff from this. And they're both just dead. Easy peasy. So that's how I clear normal. Very easy strategy. Once again, if you don't have this Nobara, if you happen to get the new Megami, he would work just fine. Otherwise, a yellow attacker character who can do a decent amount of damage is how I would run normal. As for extreme, it's a little bit annoying to try to get all 3 missions done at the same time because it asks you to use characters who are not attributed up. It's asking you to use Yuji Itadori and Megami Fushiguro on the same team. And so you know I'm not putting Megami on the main slot no matter what. He's going in a sub slot, and then Itadori does okay, but he's just not type advantage, so it's like I'm losing a lot of damage to make this team work the way I want it to. And you can have 0 characters withdrawn, and you can clear the quest within 10 turns, but with the team I'm using, once again, I'm going to want to clear it in 7 turns, if at all possible. So this is the team that I've come up with. I think it works fairly well, and yes, I am using Toge again. You saw him in the Jogo run when I was taking on normal. Well, now I'm going to use him in the extreme run here, but for a different reason. Previously, we used him for his skill 3, his stun, which is really good. Now we're actually using him for his skill 2, which is also very good. So it applies 35% damage taken decrease to all allies for a total of 2 times in 2 turns and recovers 174 ultimate gauge for them. The big thing here being the ultimate gauge. The ultimate gauge allows me to get 2 ultimates with Gojo, and that's really, really good. I do have this upgraded to level 6, so make sure you make a note of that. And additionally, the damage taken decrease does help as well when you're taking on as many enemies as you are in this stage. Keep in mind the enemies have changed from normal to extreme. So with all that said, let's try this. Okay, so just make sure you watch the ultimate gauge once again. We're gonna go ahead and buff, and actually this lasts for 2 turns, right? So I'm gonna save this for next turn, because then 3rd turn they do an AoE, which is annoying, so actually save this one. We'll go ahead and do that. We will do this defense buff here. We're going to buff Itadori, and then we'll use skill 1 with Gojo. Then next turn we'll start buffing with Gojo for the ultimate turn. Gojo doesn't do a ton of damage anyways because of the resist, but his ultimate will still nuke them. Alright, so now we go like this. We go for the skill 1 because we don't want to waste cursed energy. And we want to buff Itadori again, and now buff Gojo. Alright, looks good. Ooh, I love that one of those hits went on Gojo. That was beautiful. Alright, now we can skill 1 here. We're going to give defense to everybody, and we're going to use this right here, which gives 30% damage taken decrease to all allies, so hopefully everybody survives the AoE that this guy's about to do, which is annoying. And then we buff Gojo again, and then next turn hopefully we should be able to go crazy, would be the goal. Everybody survive, please. I think everybody survives this. Alright, good. Everybody survives. 2 of them did get stunned. It's annoying because he got stunned, otherwise we would have a combined attack, but it is what it is. At least we're able to give the extra attack to Gojo, I suppose. So that's something. And then we go like this. Gojo is buffed up at least, so let's see what we can do. Alright, Gojo, come on. It is a little bit RNG with that turn, hoping you don't get stunned, but it's okay. Okay, we broke 2 out of the 3. Yaga had the Resurrect, that's why we bring the Resurrect. Okay, so we buff. We can go ahead and... yeah, we can use an ultimate here. We can use an ultimate here as well. And then... What do I want to do? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we want to do. Do we want to buff with Gojo? No. We want to skill 1 with Gojo here. I don't think those two kill on their own, but they could break on their own, but I'm worried about them not breaking on their own. So yeah, we need to get Toto low anyways. He has the most health, and we'll get another ultimate with Gojo and be able to kill. So that's the goal. Okay. Walking through it in my head. Nice. Toge actually does a decent amount of damage. We got all those black flashes coming through, hopefully. Yep. Thanks to the bust we did on Yuji. It would have been a little bit better if we didn't get stunned the previous turn, but that's okay. Not the worst damage. 108,000, we'll take it, right? He is broken, so all of them are broken. Now we want to probably... Well, no, we're going to continue to buff here. I think that's the way to go. Gojo's getting close to an ultimate, so this should give him an ultimate next turn. While everybody's broken, that's beautiful. And we go ahead and we buff, and we make sure we buff right here as well. Alright, and Gojo has an ultimate. All of them are broken, so we don't have to worry about an attack. That's beautiful. Now we can go ahead and use this. We'll use this on the one guy that has the most health. And we'll use skill 1 here. We will use this skill here. And then the ultimate with Gojo. And hopefully this will do some decent damage. We'll see. Nishimiya is my biggest worry because she can only be hit by multi-target attacks. So if this doesn't kill, we're in trouble. Come on, Gojo. Okay, it did. We're good. So that's how you clear Extreme with all 3 missions complete. It does take a little bit of luck and a specific team build, but there you go. Hopefully that helps you guys. All 3 missions complete. Easy peasy. And there are all of the rewards. And this recollection, by the way, what can it do? It's okay. It's not one of the better. It's an okay one. It's not one of the better ones. But triggered upon using any command skill, applies draw attack to self for 2 times, applies 20% damage taken decrease to self for 2 times. So this is like a potential recollection you could run on Gojo if you're able to beat normal, right? And then you throw it on Gojo. That would be a decent one to take the place of the recollection you guys have seen me using on the previous difficulty. But yeah. There you go. Hopefully that helps you out. And if you guys enjoyed the video, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.